Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock, and we want to begin this evening with the impact of this government shutdown on one Hoosier woman who relies on SNAP funds to get food. Our Logan Gay talked with her tonight. So, Logan, what did she tell you?
Well, Scott, Samantha Bandy is a working single mother with a medical condition. She says this order to hold SNAP funds because of the shutdown has many people like herself feeling like collateral damage. Samantha Bandy is focusing on making ends meet for her and her children after finding out her SNAP benefits might be paused until further notice because of the federal government shutdown.
Realize that most of it is out of my control.
She's one of the many people balancing a job and raising kids who still can't make ends meet. She says SNAP benefits are a lifeline for them.
It's provided a lot of relief with being able to get my kids healthy meals, get myself healthy meals.
She says this couldn't have happened at a worse time. Her rent just went up. She's recovering from a surgery and is preparing to start physical therapy, which will cut into her working hours at her job.
It's not a fun thing to need food stamps. Being in poverty and all that, it's not something that, at least not me, that I want to be in. And programs like this have just had a huge impact and help for me.
And her kids, who she's trying to shield from these troubles.
I don't want them to be uncomfortable or hungry or worried about anything.
Right now, she says she has 2 weeks of food left and 1 week of SNAP funds before she runs out. She says after that, if the funds aren't there, she plans to wing it and go to as many food banks as possible.
That's really stressful, especially because most of them are open during the day when I'm at work, and I don't want to take off work. They miss out on money from work.
But until then, she's dealing with the uncertainty by focusing on stretching her meals.
I think I got one more day left on it. You could make a baked potato and put to make it enough for, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow.
So we talked with Emily Bryan with Feeding Indiana's Hungry earlier this week, and she told me Indiana's benefits don't start issuing until the 5th of the month, which gives Hoosiers a little more wiggle room than some other states, but it's not much.
Logan, thanks so much. And now to Indiana's redistricting debate. The governor said today we are getting close to calling for a special session to vote on redrawing our state's congressional map. But a spokesperson for Senate Republicans said the votes aren't there. Governor Mike Braun told 13 News the case may not have been made yet, but he believes it will be. So this pressure to redraw Indiana's congressional districts is only growing from the Trump administration. Indiana GOP leaders have talked with the president on the phone and then met twice with Vice President Vance. So it may be just a matter of time. All of this is an effort by Republicans to gain seats in the House during the 2026 midterms. Right now, the GOP holds 7 of Indiana's 9 congressional seats. Democrats hold 2, including here in Indianapolis. These developments come just one day after voting rights advocates emailed a petition against redistricting to GOP leaders with close to 20,000 signatures. So we asked the governor about that and its possible influence on his decision.
Certainly would, but they're coming from a place that I understand why they don't want to do it, because it's, from that end of the spectrum that's gerrymandered across the country, to where many Republicans now are feeling that this is kind of balancing the equation.
According to reporting from Politico, the governor could call a special session to redistrict as early as next week. Democrats call it a power grab. So we've talked tonight about congressional maps. Now we've got the latest on state maps. There's this commission which is now weighing whether parts of Illinois, which are highlighted all here in yellow, could actually join Indiana. 33 counties across the border have voted to explore separation. Right now, the Indiana-Illinois Boundary Adjustment Commission is made up of 6 Hoosiers. There are spots for 5 people from Illinois if that state passes a matching bill. The commission met today at Indiana State University over in Terre Haute, and they heard testimony from 4 people. Commissioners questioned what this change would look like in reality for schools, our economy, and for a state whose boundaries don't even touch.
I assume there'd be an effort to try to make it some type of logical design of which counties go where. So it would be impossible to have counties scattered.
Our governor accuses us of wanting to kick Chicago out of Illinois. That is not so. We want to kick ourselves out of Illinois.
It's important to note this is unlikely to happen because it would take approval from Indiana lawmakers, Illinois lawmakers, and Congress. We're due for a couple of really cold nights ahead, aren't we, Angela?
We are, Scott. A frost advisory tonight, a freeze watch tomorrow night. Let's get into it. Temperatures overnight will drop into the 30s, cold enough for some patchy frost early tomorrow morning. Now, we are ending the growing season or getting close to it, but if there's something you want to protect and get a couple more weeks out of it, you'll want to bring them inside the next couple of nights or cover them. We're already down to 43 in Indianapolis, already down to 36 in Richmond, already down to 34 in Crawfordsville, and that's 16 colder from this time yesterday. Overnight temperatures this morning were in the 40s. We're going to be colder than that tomorrow morning and in the 30s. Even colder tomorrow afternoon and again on Friday. We'll cover all of those numbers in a few minutes.
All right, we'll be looking for those jackets. Thanks so much, Angela. Tonight, a trial date is now set for Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez. It's currently scheduled for December. The 38-year-old is facing felony battery, public intoxication, and other misdemeanor charges. Police say Sanchez was stabbed on October 4th after attacking a 69-year-old truck driver in an alley here in downtown Indianapolis. Sanchez did not appear in Marion County Court today, but his attorneys did. They say both men are still recovering tonight, and that could have an effect on the case schedule.
Thank you for allowing our client to be excused from today's hearing. He's still recovering from the injuries he sustained in the medical intervention, so that process is ongoing, and it may impact some of the dates, but right now we'll note those dates for our calendars.
Prosecutors tonight are doubtful this case will be ready for trial by December. Right now, Mark Sanchez is free on bond and allowed to return home to California. He's been off the air since this happened. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines right now. An appeals court just granted Richard Allen's attorneys more time to put together their case for an appeal of Allen's conviction. They say Richard Allen's transfer to Oklahoma has complicated communication. Now a judge is giving them 55 days to file the appellant brief. Allen is now serving a 130-year sentence for the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi in 2017. Investigators just identified a man shot and killed on the near south side of Indianapolis. 34-year-old Zachary Lillard died in that shooting along Tabor Street near Raymond and Shelby. A woman was injured in the shooting. Right now, we're working to learn if police have identified any possible suspects. Tonight, there's a new resource in Hamilton County for people facing a mental health crisis. The Relay Center in Noblesville is a safe space for someone to be heard, get a medical assessment, or connected to needed services. Aspire Indiana Health oversees this center. It's already had its first patient. And a major publishing company breaks ground on a new facility in Brownsburg. HarperCollins is building a 1.6 million square foot facility on Ronald Reagan Parkway. It's expected to ship more than 300 million books every year and create more than 400 jobs. The opening date set for 2028. Remember, you can find all of our latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app.